YouTube? I'm back. I didn't finish my YouTube videos. I got two more. I got to do one more Sunday night football prediction, and then it's going to be a Monday night football prediction. So let's get to it. It's the Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. Now, this one's going to be pretty much a competitive football game. You're actually going to get a dogfight in this one. Unlike the New England Patriots versus the Washington Redskins, you're going to get the complete opposite. You're actually going to get a shootout in this football game. Now, the Minnesota Vikings and the Giants just so happen to have the same identical record. Both have 2 wins, 2 losses, and one has to prove to themselves that they're still a force to be reckoned with. See, this is going to be called battle to prove who's the best. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, you went to Green Bay, and even though you started to play at the end of the football game, here's my thing with the Vikings. You got to play all 4 quarters. You can't play around with your opponent in the first quarter and the second quarter, and then when the game gets serious, you wait until the last minute and then start playing serious. That's how you lose football games. The way you win football games is you play all 4 quarters. You play offense, you play defense. You get serious in the first quarter. Not wait until, okay, we got to stop Green Bay. Because Green Bay won that game because they were serious. Now, their offense is strong, don't get me wrong, but their defense is up and down a lot of times. I'm talking about the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Giants, they're a defensive superpower. There's a reason why the Giants won those 2 Super Bowls against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Now, the quarterback has replaced Eli due to injury. He's the reason why they won 2 games. Otherwise, they would have been 1-3. So if it weren't for the quarterback, the backup quarterback on the New York Giants stepping up, they would have not been in the position that they're in. Now, I could see the Minnesota Vikings come in and win the football game, but I have a feeling we're going to see an upset. Like, the Minnesota Vikings, they're favored to win this football game. And for the New York Giants, it's perfect for the Giants because they're at home. They're in New York. They have home field advantage. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. They can play offense, they can play defense, but the Giants is known as a defensive football team. And the defensive line is going to play on both sides of the football field. So naturally, the Giants, I think the Giants are going to win because it's the fact that you're at home and nobody is favoring the Giants to win. Think about it. You're 2 wins, 2 losses. Nobody is going to suspect the New York Giants to win Sunday. And I think the Giants would like that. I mean, think about it. When nobody thinks you're going to win, you're the underdog. I mean, think about it. They're favoring the Minnesota Vikings to beat you in your own house. Nobody sees the Giants winning this football game. And for the quarterback to make their record 2 wins and 2 losses, this is a chance for him to step up big and prove why he replaced Eli Manning as backup quarterback. Eli would love to come back and play as quarterback, but he's injured. And he has a chance to prove that those 2 games that he won was not a fluke. He wins, he proves that he's real and legit. Now, if the Giants stank up the joint and lose in New York City in front of their own crowd, that will prove why they say Minnesota Vikings are the favorite to win the game on Sunday. So, Minnesota should be able to win this game 20 to 25 points. But I do have a strong feeling that because the New York Giants are being counted out and they're the underdogs, that's going to give them the motivation needed to beat the Vikings and prove you don't ever count an underdog out, especially when we're at home with the home crowd. So that's what I see with the Giants. Like I said, I see an upset in this football game. Like, it should go the way of the Vikings. I think the Vikings is going to beat them up for 3 quarters, and then somewhere late in that 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter, the Giants going to make this legendary comeback and beat them. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to set themselves up for a 20-point or 20-point blowout and then make this miraculous comeback at the last minute and beat the Vikings and cause an upset. Like, I actually believe the Vikings is going to be whooping that butt first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, laying the smack down, and then out of nowhere, when the New York Giants see that they're backed into a corner with no choices and no options, it's going to turn on that killer instinct and show the whole world that we're still the New York Giants and cause an upset. That's what I think. Now, if they get blown out at home and they stink up the joint, then it goes to why Minnesota's favorite.